I'll press record. Okay, thanks, folks.
Oh, good. All right. Well, so we're just gonna go through well, I've got to do okay. Here we go. Here we go. We're just gonna go through a checklist that we're trying to set up that sort of walks beginners or anyone in IPKR sort of through the steps of what you have to do to get so that you can do a trade. So obviously first one is what I put is you have to have an account and that there's a difference between paper trading and live trading. So this
I did not put
assuming
that in this just because I want it to be for, long-term use, but that would be a good thing to add if it was steps to making your first, like if it was right from the beginning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just found that people were getting, when I was creating it, people were getting on and they didn't have the workstation downloaded and didn't know if they were trying to figure out how to get, get an account. And it was kind of like, you don't have to have live, you can go paper and just kind of get that one. So anyway, yeah. So check your chart
How-
settings to make sure they are correct. Used saved templates.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe eventually making a separate document for, how to get set up, and then even the steps. I'm hoping they'll make a video, the steps of going through the application and the steps of getting your chart set up. But this is more for once we've got that established
Okay.
of every day, what we can look at to go in and just make a trade.
Right.
So,
Right. And then, yeah, because like you say, so that number one, there's kind of, here's the picture of all the parameters. If it's a stock, here it is. If it's an indices, here's the VIX. He's got his Doppler, whatever thingy, right? So that would be could be referred to appendix A, B, C, D type thing. Right, so that would have the chart indicators on them, because that seems to be things that we've been dealing with for months, right? Is it, Hall moving average, exponential, or simple, or smooth?
Okay,
like, so you're saying, like,
When it
put
says
in
check
here,
your chart settings, half the problem is people go, well, what's it supposed to be?
mhm.
Right? Like
Yeah.
what is it? Like Jeff said this, Rami said that, right? That's where we've got a bit of still things that aren't 100% clear. And like you said, really, it just takes, if they just did up one chart that said, here's what your chart
right?
indicators should be, and then within the indicators, here's what the different parameters should be within that. Right, so yeah, there we go. Because then we have
Okay,
yeah, beautiful. There we go.
that's
And then yes, are the watch lists updated? And the thing that would go with that, because then people go, I thought such and such was on my watch list, like, right? And somewhere, and because Jeff's having to rebuild all his stuff, this might be a good time to say, can you just do like a PDF that, or a quick statement that says, here's how you determine if it's supposed to be on your bullish, because he moved some from the bullish
Yeah.
to did he do it to neutral or to, and I haven't updated mine yet, but so there's some of the things that he moved from being bullish to something else, and he kind of said what it was, and I haven't found that recording because that I'm
well,
finding
even
it
the other
hard
day,
to-
he added a few things the other day when that crazy day. he said, oh, I'm this and this and this, and he talked about pharma. So for number 2, our watch list updated. I think just a note there would be check in the app for the latest, and they do change from time to time, or something like that. Jeff
Right,
slash
but-
Rami will change. They change from time to time. So, how
And
do you?
also like Jeff said here, when it does this, this and this, then I move it from the list. So he did say what they look at when they move it.
Yeah, I know he said, at least this is from my memory, when you're in a bullish company and it goes below the 200-day moving average, he moves it to neutral. Or he told us to. He said, go through the bullish list, and if it's gone below the 200-day moving average, move it
And
to
is
the
that
neutral.
on the daily chart?
I don't know.
Because they're different, because usually on a daily they're all right. And then you go to the 4 hour or 1 hour, and then it's like way up over top, and you're like, whoa, okay, what the heck?
I don't remember.
See, and that's stuff that he knows and can answer just like that. And if he had a little thing that says, here's how I'm, and he spends a lot of time, sounds like, setting up the watch list each quarter. So then what's he looking at in that eventually, if there was another PDF that kind of, right now we're paying, so he gives us the watch list, but at some point we don't get, we have to decide, they have, however it is, whatever the offer becomes. But if we don't have that, how do we do that? Right.
Yeah.
And you might want it, Patty, just for posterity's sake, you might want to just put check maybe KOT app and capital A app, just so people know. To me, it's a no-brainer, but I don't know if that, if people understand that,
Yeah.
especially the newbies.
Yeah, that's
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
And I might even color code all of our to-dos, like as we come up with today, things that are to do. I'll just color them like this. How's that?
I have to wake up and get on my call with you ladies.
You beat us.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like green means do it, go. That's
Yeah.
in my little head. That's what I do too. Green is do. Okay.
Okay. This is good. This is so
Ooh.
good. Many brains are better than one.
Yeah. So where is the first place to go in Trader Station each day?
Yeah.
So
This
is your answer number 4?
Yeah, this is my rough draft.
Yeah, because I would say, yeah, because you want to check the charts, right? Because that's Rami's, well, actually you check the what do they call it? You check to see if there's any earnings.
Yeah.
So
Here, I can-
that's on the
Okay.
that company Seeking Alpha or something.
Yes.
And there's a in the app, in our KOT app, there's a resources list that Aaron put together, and within that list there's a thing about the earnings, when the earnings calls are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really
Oh.
key for us in IBKR, because it doesn't show up on the charts like it does on the Thinkorswim, right?
Exactly. Okay. Any earnings happening? That's the, okay. And yeah, the, I asked, in our messenger group, or someone did, maybe it was Cindy as well, asked around, what platform to go to look for earnings things. I don't use that one. And I realized when I reviewed an old training that they actually mentioned that particular one. And I have never looked at that, but you know, earnings calls are public information. You can Google it and find it. You know, you just need to Google it, that's all. But anyway.
Oh, I just gotta let Cindy into the room on her computer. I'm just looking through the app. Okay, there it is. So in the app,
Yeah.
in resources, if you go down, it's got options, trader, links. And in that resource, it lists, let me see, what's it called? US economic calendar. Glossary, let me just open that one and see US economic calendar, market watch. Oh, just a minute. You are trying to edit a protected cell. No, I'm just trying to open it. That's all I want to do. Just want to open it. And it says, yeah, okay. I don't want to subscribe right now. Sorry. Here, so I'll just can't screen share. So in that resource, it has that particular one is this week's major US economic reports and Fed speakers. So it talks about that. That's not necessarily
Where are you getting the link?
earnings.
Like, is it the Seeking Alpha?
No, this is called Market Watch. It's the one that's in our curriculum. Do you
Oh,
want to
like
just
you
stop
mean-
sharing for a second?
Yeah.
Let me get
Okay,
back.
when you, and also, Deb, when you say Kingdom Option Trader app, that's it just, you put in on your laptop, you're putting in 100x app, and then it comes up, and then you choose Kingdom Option. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Is that what you mean?
Okay, so here I'll just share for a second. Show you here. Okay, so this page first. All right. So in that, can everyone see that app?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so when you first pull it up, you've got those, right? So when you scroll down and it's got options, trader, links. And I click on that. Now, does the screen change for you guys or do I need to
No.
reshare?
Go
Didn't,
ahead.
You have
didn't,
to reach.
didn't, okay, so stop share. Stop share, reshare. Reshare this one. Here we go. So then this is the page that comes up. So then if I go down to line 18, it says Foundation's US Economic Calendar.
Mhm.
So this is, and then I'll open that. Is it changing the page for you guys?
Yeah.
Or it did?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
just scroll down now, Deb, a little bit.
Whoops. Sorry, let me go over there. Okay, so then it says, here's so this is this week. So that's like, now this is, sorry, I'm just going to scroll back to the title. So major US economic reports and Fed speakers.
Mhm.
So this isn't actually showing the earnings calls. So this would be one place that we do go though to look because, and especially over the next couple of months with the US elections happening, we'd be wanting to know, right, sort of what's coming up. So here it's got, for example, Monday, June 3rd, 9:45 a.m. S&P Flash US manufacturing. No, I don't know exactly what that means, but that's important to us because we're with SPX and SPY and all that. We're in that. That's one of the places that we're in a lot. All right, so
Rami mentioned
tomorrow,
yesterday about a Fed discussion. Is that the one at 5 p.m. today? Dallas Fed President Lori Logan speaks. Or is it the 12:05 PM? I wonder, New York Fed president. I mean, we don't have to answer this today, but just in terms of, I wonder if that's what the Fed message that, meeting that Rami referred to yesterday. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't know, because he didn't say which day. He said it's coming up. He didn't, yeah, I don't think he said. Anyway. So we got Market Watch.
right.
So,
So that's one of the things.
Would you be
And-
kind
Um,
enough
and
Deb,
that's-
to, sorry, go ahead, Patty.
sorry, I'm just writing things into that document. So what would I say that is, we're checking that for federal announcements or?
For the major US economic reports. So major US economic reports and Fed speakers.
And it's always for that.
Yeah, that link will always bring that up.
And but it's called Market Watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'll put that in brackets after US economic calendar.
yeah. And
Okay.
then, so now if I, what do I have on the screen?
Would you be kind enough to Google Seeking Alpha, Deb? Or I can do it if,
I think is it one of the links in here?
go
it's
back
in our
to
curriculum, and I clicked on it the other day when I discovered it.
Trader count, trader.
I don't know if it's in the links, but it's definitely in the curriculum somewhere. And when Cindy asked the question,
Okay,
that's
you
what
guys
they
aren't
gave.
seeing my screen, are you?
No. Well, we
Okay.
see the app list.
Okay, so if you look here, okay, so see row 15,
No,
No, we
sorry.
can't
saying
see that.
ETF explained and SAP and RET explained. That's from when you look over at the links.
We
whoops.
can't see what you're saying, but
We
Deb,
can't see you, Deb. We can't see what you're looking at.
Oh, okay, so I got to go here,
we can see them in your glasses now, though.
there. Are you seeing that now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so row over here. So see that where it says Seeking Alpha?
Yes.
Those are articles on the RUT and S&P. How to import. So I'm not seeing, where's the, how I navigate that? Is that where I go down? Okay.
There it is again. Techno
Techno
fundamentalists.
fundamentals. So here's seekingalpha.com. Check here, Seeking Alpha. Techno fundamentalist. What would it be called if we're looking for the earnings? Unleash.
Yeah, I'm not
And you
seeing
know
it.
what else? Kelly put one in the IBKR chat thing, I think, in Messenger.
Mhm.
Because someone asked about it
Yeah, I'm
a
sure.
while
I think
ago.
she did say Seeking Alpha.
I'm just gonna open this one up and see sort of what I just want to open that. Is it, are you guys seeing my page?
Oh, yeah, I found Shannon said Seeking Alpha. When Cindy asked, where do you go to find out when a company's earning call is?
I just Googled Seeking Alpha and its earnings calendar. And it's full
There you go.
of, the month of May is full of like dozens of companies having earnings calls. So that's probably the best one.
Yeah. And then the thing will be knowing which ones are the important ones to us, because there'll be some that Jeff doesn't even seem to, doesn't mention anything to us about it anyway.
And there's a monthly and a weekly you can click. Automatically, it came up monthly, which is a jammed little calendar
Yeah.
with tons. So I just changed it to weekly, and it gives you them spelled out very, very nicely. And it does say Costco as well on the 30th. That's Costco today,
Yeah, that's
Dell, Marvel,
today.
Viva, Dollar General, NetApp, tons of companies, like dozens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That Magnificent Seven, which sort of became the Fabulous Four, whatever will be key ones. And then if you're looking at a stock, it would just be to see if it's in that group over the next 7 to 10 days or whatever number of days you're looking at to trade. Is it that stock going to have anything happen?
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
For itself, but also remembering that the big ones like Nvidia and Costco and Google and can move the market. So even if you're doing a lesser stock compared to those Magnificent Seven, you want to know, because he was saying because Costco is doing whatever, everybody should be out of their trades. Like just be out of them, because or Nvidia rather, because it could just. So he was getting out of all his credit spreads. Or that's how I interpreted that. Is that
Yeah.
how you guys?
Okay. So those are two links that are helpful, Seeking Alpha and then the Market Watch one, right?
Very. Now,
Yeah.
can you
So I
share?
added that to our step list document. I said start by checking market news and earnings calls, and then I put market news, where to find that. Well, I didn't put the email or
Can you
the
screen share,
link. I
Patty?
could add that. What?
Would you mind screen sharing
Ah,
your doc,
sorry.
your famous doc? Where'd Cindy go?
Oops.
Wonder if she
I'm
has.
here.
Are you? Oh,
I
there you
am.
are. You were
So
not
do,
busy.
sorry, I know, do we have to pay that $4.95 a month to get that?
No,
Oh,
There's a free version. Is
there's a
there?
free version. You can get the basics of what you need for right now.
okay.
Earnings calls
And
is
then-
public information, so it's Googleable anytime,
Yeah.
anywhere to.
And then
the world.
Bonnie, when you Googled Seeking Alpha, what was then you went earnings?
Let me.
Because right now when you go to the general seekingalpha.com, there's like lots of stuff, right? So just in terms of the where you've got it there, Patty, you put free version, but if sort of in between that and the seekingalpha.com,
Yeah, so I had already clicked on it, so it, my cache picked immediately went to it. And so what it went to, I don't know if it did it automatically the other day. It must have, because I didn't scoot around. It's seekingalpha.com/earnings dash calendar. So I can put that in the chat if you want, but
/earnings. Is it
Yeah.
backslash or forward
Yeah.
slash?
I don't even know the difference.
backslash. It'll be
Here
backslash.
you go. This will be easier for just to cut.
Do I have it right?
There you go.
Earnings dash calendar.
Yeah, and it's very
Okay.
straight ahead.
Cool. I'm copying it. Look at us, so dang tech savvy.
Tell you what,
I'm so impressed with ourselves.
There you go. Beautiful.
All right.
So then step 4 would be then go to in the charts.
Is that accurate? And
Yeah,
go to
that's what Bonnie put in the thing.
I did. Okay.
Now, when you get the Trader workstation, right, we've got like mosaic and whatever, but like these would be like, is this straightforward enough to say just go to your charts? Like at this point, because we've assumed that they've kind of got those in, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think otherwise this will balloon into
Too much.
A
Yeah.
manual.
too much.
No, you don't want a
Yeah.
manual, you
Okay,
want
so go to chart. And then, yeah, what is the trend? Bullish, trend up, or bearish, trend down? And then you've got to do neutral. Trend can only be one of three things, up, down, or
Gotcha.
neutral. Waffling sideways.
Sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys are gonna have editing abilities in here, so
Okay, cool.
feel
So there will be one
free.
master in Google, and then if we do updates, we can let each other know. Is that the deal, Patty? How it works? I don't work a lot in Google Docs, so this is good experience.
So, no, so what like, just so you know, I've saved a copy for myself, so if somebody wrecks this, I have a copy of what we started with, so don't worry about it. But the great thing about this is that whoever this gets shared to, whoever has the link, hopefully I set the settings right, you have editing capabilities. So if you went on to here right now, for example, if all four of us were on here, we could all be editing at the same time and we would all see it. And then it just saves. So the danger about that is that somebody could, delete the whole thing or wreck it or whatever. It's like we're all working on the same document at the same time or
In
anytime.
real time. Okay.
So if you make a change in here, it'll change for all of us. And then when we get it to where we really like it, I would say then we save it and then we can share it as a PDF or something to other people.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's super handy when you're collaborating as a group.
And so this is just called a Google worksheet or a Google.
Yeah, it's a Google Sheet.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you get a chance, I might have to get you to teach me how to do the stuff inside there.
Well, if you guys want to, we could look at it right now. Like I sent it to you guys in the messenger.
I would like to just stick to doing this for right
Okay.
now. Just in
Gotcha.
terms of headspace and time and
That's great.
if that's okay.
Of course.
Because
Yeah.
then it's like a whole other thing. And I don't
It's
want to be
whatever
trying to
serves.
navigate from this to like,
Yeah.
yeah, if I can be on my desktop to.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I just went through Rami's cohort 101 on February, in February, and I just literally took down notes on all the steps. I don't know if you want me to send that.
Yeah,
to you,
those
or,
will probably, what was the date? I don't know if I have that book. Because that will probably be that sounds like close to the date of when I wrote up the original one.
was I might have been in February 23.
November.
Well, this is before yeah, this is before your like where it starts out here is click on new window in upper right corner, then click on like it tells you how to do the alerts, and then a gray box will appear, and then it tells you how to do the alerts, all that. is what I
Okay, so
have.
We're
that's
not there
very,
yet.
that's very procedural then, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
that'll come in handy down here because that's where I started losing like I didn't have enough information about how to set alerts and stuff.
Okay, so I've got all that. And
Right.
then use the gear icon to the far right for the strategy builder, and then go to the option chain display. All of that I have.
Yeah. So
Track
that's what I
along
did.
with us.
I was trying to take notes for myself. I've been trying to do this for so long, and I am just getting so discouraged. And I'm just like, Lord, I don't know if this is what you want me to do. Because it's not like I'm not in here doing the training. And then so I thought if I did step by step, but then
yeah.
anyway, what I would like to really do is have somebody walk me through a trade. What do I do so I can actually get it? You know
Okay,
what I
how
mean?
about
That
this?
would be very helpful for me. Anyway,
Yeah. How about this? We do this for another 15 minutes, which means then it's 4:30. Well, sorry, my time. So there's still like an hour and uh
Yeah.
5:30. There's
Go
still
ahead.
an hour and a half before the meeting because it's now moved to an hour later, right? Because a lot of that stuff, Cindy, that you're talking about, because that's the second IBKR training that Rami did. The first IBKR training that Rami did was like December 15th or 16th. I got Jeff the 15th, so I think this was 16th. And he went through and kind of went through how to set up Keltner channels, like how we set up our charts, which we had to do manual because we couldn't import them in. And then he went, it's just a checklist, you guys. And so I've got this checklist and I went, he said, there's only 4 steps to it. You do 1, you do 2, you do 3. And he repeated that the next 3 IBKR trainings. And then he goes, step 4, that's where you actually do your trade. But to do your trade, there's a number of steps, right? So I kind of went, I need more details on what step 4 was. So I went back to go, what's his step 1? What really is his step 1? And at that point, there was people having trouble just getting the workstation. So now we're assuming for creating this document, people have downloaded the workstation and they've downloaded their charts and they kind of have that. And this is just a checklist to go, have you done that, right? So then quickly we get to step 2 where we're looking at the watch list, right? So do we have those imported? Yeah, okay. So we check the market news, got earnings, we go to our charts. So now that we go to our charts, this is where Rami's kind of step 1 starts. What's the trend? Right? And so he pretty much always uses SPY and QQQ. Jeff uses the RAT, DIA, SPY, SPX. Right. So it's kind of in some ways, as long as you're using something like that, right? So I'm just trying to, Rami, I don't have it there. Can't figure out where I wrote it down.
I'm just going to pause for
So when we're looking at trend for step 5, right, we want to determine if the trend can be one of 3 things. So bullish, bearish, and neutral, which you have there. So that's great. And then I would add in where it says check SPY.
Yeah.
And Rami has said weekly, right? He also does QQQ.
Is
And
that,
is that on
Rami?
the weekly, checking on the weekly, or that doesn't mean he just does it once a
no, it
week.
means
That's
you
the
use
thing.
the day. Usually you check the daily. And Rami says, check it for the week. It's not like it super changes, but I think that's what That's how I interpret that.
Like that. Checks bi-weekly and
Use the
daily.
Daily,
charts?
you use the daily candles. You're checking it each week. You need to check each week what happens to the market, but really you should be, I would take weekly out of there.
Or put check SPY on the daily,
On
on,
the, yeah, check
on the,
SPY,
yeah, because
QQQ, and on the, yeah, on the daily for, and the, for the, at least the week, you need at least a week's worth of data. But on the daily chart
We're at
or the, yeah, for at least a week,
a week
yeah.
prior.
Because
So
it,
we don't use the VIX then anymore?
No,
that's for a
We're not there
different
yet.
part of it. Like the VIX is about the volatility of the market in the moment. So we just want to determine overall, is the market bearish, neutral, or bullish, or one of those three. And if, and then once we actually go to look at trades, then we kind of go, what's the VIX saying as well? But that's like another, that's a bit further down the road generally, like Rami doesn't, or, you know, in any of the trainings hasn't brought it up this early. And then the other thing that they both use is that /ES.
After the SPY and QQQ.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then obviously RUT is another one that does get looked at. But I'd say if we leave it at that and maybe get some clarification, like we can kind of add in there, because this is a future.
Yeah.
And I need to, in the line above, we might put that you check SPY and QQQ indices on the daily chart, because those are an indices check, but that's where they look. And sorry, and maybe have RUT. So SPY, QQQ, RUT. And Rami, because we're doing trainings 2 or 3 times a week, he doesn't always, like, he usually always does SPY and QQQ. Sometimes it's not so much the RUT.
I
There we
just
go.
yesterday, remember that screenshot of his, and I'm sorry, it's
Yeah.
going backwards. So I downloaded it and then I printed it yesterday. So yeah, so review SPY and QQQ indexes. And then what is the dominant trend? Up, cross, sideways, you know, all
Okay.
that
So
sort
as
of
a
things.
minimum, so do we want to take the RUT out of there? Or like put like that line 1 could be the main, yeah.
I don't know. This is where I get confused. I do feel like every time I listen to them, it's a different, it's different. So this is why I'm confused and want to solidify it and get it
Okay.
in black
Some
and
of it
white.
would be a time thing, like if you're kind of, and again, the goal would be that we're kind of doing a little bit every day. So some of it would be, as you're doing it, is to include a quick look at the RUT, and really it's taking us a longer time to talk through it, but it doesn't, it's just a matter of clicking to go to the next indices, right? And you kind of go, oh yeah, looks the same, oh yeah, or go, oh no, RUT and SPX are going opposite ways today. So I would just keep it how it is right now, but with that ES and the future is maybe to go after you've got the period indices on daily chart, look back for at least a week prior. And then you've got the period. And then I would move the ES/ES future and go for, if you want more confirmation, check
Move
out
this to where?
ES futures. Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. So then move that up. right where you put the period in. Yeah, just in there. If you, and sort of a note that if you want more data, I guess, would you call it? If you want more or more confirmation, check out the ES future.
Okay,
And then go, yeah, and what is the dominant trend?
okay. And then,
That can be
S.
taken out because you've got that up above.
okay,
Or, well, yeah, okay. Oh, no, keep that. Where'd you put that? Oh, what is the trend?
Yeah.
Okay.
oh. You want me to put that back in? What is the dominant trend?
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then
because, yeah,
SPX, that's,
I think we can take that out because it's a SPY. I mean, sometimes they use SPX. Um,
I don't think it hurts to leave that because then people are aware to take a look at that as well, but you know, whatever
and
you
just
think.
put it SPX up there.
okay.
Okay.
Isn't the SPY the future as well? Or not?
Let me
Sorry,
look.
is the SPY?
The SPY
Oh.
is the ETF for SPX.
Okay.
Look at that little cheat sheet there, huh, girl?
Yes. Awesome.
Yes, I wanted to show you. I'm really excited about this part because I am so confused.
Hey, I love those. I've got Post-it notes all over the world. I've got this
Yeah.
65 cents for $5 spread, 40 cents for $2 spread. I've got the Post-it notes everywhere. So
Hey, look at this. Look at this,
oh,
Pony.
girl.
There we go. There we go.
Thanks to Deb.
All right.
Okay, this is getting
Okay.
exciting.
So we're done 5. Focus on, so then you've got that space. Focus on matching watch list.
Just a point, Patty,
Oh.
just from an eye standpoint, see the what is dominant trend?
Yep.
See that? I would just maybe put that on the next line by itself because that's a biggie. Look, what is the dominant trend is really what you're trying to get people to look at. There you go.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the answer below, yeah, you've got focus on matching watch list.
Yeah. Okay, so depending on dominant
Trend.
trend. I mean, we're not trying to make an instructional manual, but
Right.
we do
It's
we
helpful.
do need to know.
Yeah,
We need some
focus
help.
on yeah, the matching watch list. And so you just got to add or neutral. And usually if you're in a bearish market, you can still look at the neutral list and then your bearish list, but you would never look at, you don't want to trade on your bullish list.
Yeah.
And same for bullish, like neutral, you can look at both times. Just know you're going to be, if it's a bearish market, you're trying to look for a bear call. If it's a bullish market, well, no, that's not true 100% of the time either. But
Okay.
generally, be looking at
What's
the
WL?
bearish.
Watch
Watch
list.
list.
Okay.
So now I'm not sure. If
Maybe
in
just put IE if you're in a bearish market, bearish trend, then look at your bearish watch list.
okay.
And then, yeah, so example.
Okay.
There we go, watch list.
Okay. I'll put watch list. There.
Beautiful.
Or
Both.
neutral, bearish or neutral.
I've got it up here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're saying or.
And you
There.
know what we should do, because sorry, because they were looking at beginners, we should be focused on bullish trends first, ideally. And as in we watch people that are moved to live trading when we're doing the bearish ones, that's where people are losing more money. Bullish.
There.
Well, like on bullish trends and
Trends.
bullish market, bullish watch list. Because you don't want to focus on your bullish list. If it's a bear, if it's showing bear, you don't want to do a bear call on a bullish market, a bullish stock.
Well, that's gonna be like if you're yeah, okay. But if it's not a bullish trend, or if it's not a bullish market, you can't.
Right? So you wait till it comes, like ideally,
Okay.
Jeff saying in the beginning, try to figure out how to do a bullish
Go slow.
trade, right?
How about that?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Okay, so
In bullish market, yeah. Go through the watch list. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't add, I don't know what to add in there right now, because you're kind of doing that in step 5 as well. Structure. So in Rami's things, so this isn't too confusing for people, his step 1 is trend. So if we just either highlight the word trend, and now that we're going to structure, or maybe in brackets you put trend is Rami's step 1. And that's highlighted, and you could put like bracket Rami step 1.
okay.
Yeah. And then go down to structure and make structure capital letters, and Rami step 2.
Whoop. Okay.
Look at moving averages. Yep.
Can we just go back here for a second?
Yeah.
I want to keep this in. It'll have to get tidied up probably. But how do you define a bearish market? Like it says go through the watch list. Does the company beat earnings and have good forward guidance? Then that is bullish, right?
Yeah. And then bearish would be they don't make earnings and they don't have forward
Oh.
guidance.
Okay, so it's really,
And then neutral can be, I'll let you finish that first.
I am just like all over the place here. Bearish. Don't have good earnings or forward guidance.
Yeah. And then neutral, because I think that's where we put Apple, like, or wasn't it? Because our first list, it was bullish, but then it went, and it partly is that it didn't make earnings, but he felt like they had, like, so neutral is kind of a one or the other, but it can be either way. You know, like they might have made, I think it for the most part, they could have made earnings, but maybe their forward guidance is, or they have good forward guidance, but they didn't make earnings, which I think is what
A
happened.
mix.
A mix. Yeah, there we go.
They're
Beautiful.
currently going sideways.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Okay, awesome.
Excellent. Excellent. Structure
Also,
step 2.
I think it goes to the neutral list also when it goes below the 200
Yeah,
zone, the 200-day moving average.
on the daily. Is that on the daily chart?
Mhm.
That's, do you have that note, Cindy, of if it's on the daily chart?
No, I don't. I don't have that. If it's on, no, I don't. I didn't have that marked down.
So we'd want to check, maybe put in question marks in a bracket, like, is this on the daily, 4-hour, and or 1 hour? Because quite often when I'm looking at the hourly, that can be above everything, but it not paid attention if it's the bullish.
Okay. This is
I
another
think
to
it's on the
do.
daily, but I can't find that specifically in my notes. It's in my head.
We
So
will
no.
all be on the watch for that. We should stick a question in the chat today on the call. We'll get our answers.
Yes.
This is
Looking at
great.
moving averages. I don't know how hard it is to draw a pyramid in there.
I do not know how to do that in here. That's
Okay.
what I was thinking, like, but I can do a thing where I just put it,
So you could put bullish market or in a bullish market, the moving averages will start at the bottom with or 250.21.8 is as with the 200 as the foundation. So we have an upward going pyramid.
no, yes,
21 and 8.
21 and 8.
Do you have all those lines on yours? The 200, the 50, the 21, and the 8?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's only
I
been in the last sort of 3 weeks or 2, yeah, probably 3 weeks that Rami and Jeff both started showing us charts that had this 4th line on it. And then they said that it was an 8-day moving average. And so we can show you on a chart.
Yeah.
I
and they
can
made-
bring
I
it in.
think-
I know how to do that now.
Okay, cool.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it's turquoise or something that pops on the
Yeah.
Oh.
charts
Yeah.
that they've done, which I
And
like.
then
I like that
neutral
color
is a
code.
mix. Yes.
that's the
Okay.
8-day. What about the 21-day? What color is it?
You already
Green.
will have that because that's our mean on both the
Oh,
their
okay.
channel entries and the whole moving average, all that. It's just the mean,
Oh,
Okay.
right.
the middle. Yeah. Yeah, there, that's perfect. And then at some point, if we could put a drawing in there.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I could come up with that. I'm not great on all those kind of artsy fartsy things, but I'll see what I can do.
Insert a drawing.
We can work on that.
Or it's got image as well. Insert image. Oh, that might be a photo. Oh, but that might be an easy way to do it. Anyway,
We'll work on that. Let's not get bogged down on that
'cause
one.
it's 1:45, so at 5 we'll want to try to be when beginning to trade for put stock reversing in an upward move. Yes. Is the stock extended and how far? Okay, so
Is it? Yeah.
Structure.
Stock
You know
price.
what we're missing in the trend? No, that's all right. He does, never mind, sorry, that's good. It's all right. Structure is moving is bullish, right? Structure, yes.
And then there's a third thing, right?
Volume,
Okay, so that's what I was missing. I knew I was missing something. Or is that yet? Or? Oh, I've got volume down here. Do we look at the volume yet, or do we look at the price action?
no, well, when Ronnie's like thingy, he was saying that. Yeah, structure, sorry, it's called momentum. So 8, before we go into 8,
Okay,
you would go momentum, capital letters momentum. It's not like he had that as a third step, I don't think. It was another thing that he's looking at, momentum. And to do that, we want to look at volume, and the 8-day moving average is what I've got. If we break,
after looking at price action, or? Is this where it's RSI and CCI?
check volume, well, first, well, no,
Volume's down with.
I think that's sort of a next step.
Let's see.
And so with volume, we'd want to put in volume. We want to identify, is volume increasing, volume flat, or volume descending or decreasing. So we're looking not so much with the RSI. The RSI would be a separate, the next thing after we do the volume stuff. And so again, if we were able to put a little picture, it would be like the steps going up means volume's going up. If it's flat, it's flat. And if the ladders going, or steps are going down, then the volume's decreasing. So it's just like a visual of that's how we determine the volume. Green candles.
Okay.
Can you borrow anything from 13, Patty, and just copy and paste?
Is that all that we're looking at there then? When,
Take the CCI and the RSI out for right now.
okay,
If you put it down, because we want to look at candles first. That's the first thing we want to look at. Like
okay,
we
so
could
we don't
determine-
want the
right now we're
moment.
still kind of determining what kind of trade. Are we going to do a bearish trade, a bullish trade, or a neutral trade? Right. And so part of it is the volume. So if volume's increasing, it means people are buying. So it's good. If it's decreasing, then there's not as many people buying. There's not as much going on. And so just to be aware of, hey, something's happening. Why is it slowed down? Right? When they're buying, it's all great for us because we're selling. We're doing opposite of what most people are doing. So with the volume, is it increasing, flat, or decreasing? Picture a ladder. Yeah. And then the other thing is that in terms of if it's a green candle, all that means is that the market closes at a price higher than it started that day.
Can I ask a question here?
Yeah,
When we're saying check volume, are you talking like we're looking at those bars
Yeah.
at the bottom that are red and green?
yeah. And so then you
Okay.
can see what the pattern, because like Jeff the other day when he was on, he goes, look at that, see how that jumped? And he's looking at
Okay,
that
so I'm
one
gonna-
bar that went, woo, like, because it was that medical stuff, right? And like you could hardly see their volume for months. And all of a sudden there was this. I was like, oh, that just, for me, it just went, okay, that's like that makes more sense. Because lots of times it's it's not too, like it's going up and down, but it's not quite so drastic.
Yeah, that was that, and because the US,
And then
I think Biden had just allocated certain things to those pharma companies, so they went whew, as soon as Mr. Biden
yeah.
endorsed it or whatever. I
So
went
do
to
you
the
think
news
we
for
need
that.
we want the explanation of what the candles, color of the candles?
Is down here, you mean?
No, right in that same, like where we're dealing with volume.
Now, to me, when you're saying candles, I'm thinking you mean the stock candles, not the volume bars, right?
No, I'm talking about the volume bars.
Oh,
Oh, I
I
thought you were
put-
talking about the candles
I
as well.
think, I thought it was at the bottom when the volume, because you get volume. Oh, okay, no, there's both colors. Okay, maybe that is then the candles, isn't it?
I don't think I've never heard those referenced as candles.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
because on the volume, red is showing the number of sellers and green is showing the number of buyers. Right?
Yeah.
The candles, when we get the candles and we're looking at the candles, so that's later, sorry. I'm in the wrong place, so that'll be down one. Is the stock extended and how far? Kind of
So
one.
now it's kind of like, now we're looking at price action, aren't we?
So now, yes,
How's this for
Yeah.
having our brains helped?
yeah, awesome. Price action is the stock.
Is that number 9? Price action?
Yeah. Well,
It's kind of Rami's step 4. Or just a
is
minute.
it?
Let me find my, no, that book. Rami's. What is the overall trend? What is the?
it's the price action. And
Oh,
then
I
the
missed.
1, 2, 3 pattern is after the price action.
Yeah. Yeah.
So momentum is Rami's step 3? Is it?
Watch list trend. See. 1, 2, 3 history RSI. Okay, so watch list of stock. So 1 is trend. 2 is where we get to the candles. So now that we're going into price action, this is where we start to look at the standard deviations. 3 is 1, 2, 3 pattern. 4 is the technical. And I think as we are progressing, he's probably morphed that a bit. What date is this? December 21st.
Huh. Oh, yeah. Maybe we should leave out Rami's. I don't know.
Yeah,
We look
yeah.
at our desired time frame
yeah.
to identify.
Cause it's not, it's price, it's still part of his. It's part of his step 3 trend. And then 4 is the tech capacity, go to the options train. When we go to the options train, that's his step 4. So all of this is prior to his step 4. So I would say just leave it as price action.
Yeah.
And it's almost more like categories than numbers in a way. So is the stock
Yeah.
extended and how far? Look for minimum 2 to 3 standard deviations. Is a stock ready to snap back? And what you might put is that it's 2.5 and 3.5 standard deviations for indices. And that, because remember, and so that's correct, that's fine, is the stock ready to snap back? And then go for index, just note that for indices,
2.5.
5 and 3.5 SDs for indices. And then instead of, is this stock ready to snap back, just go, is it ready to snap back? It doesn't matter if it's a stock or indices. Is it ready to snap back? Yeah.
At the area of price action, just beside it, do we want to put maybe a Jeff quote? Because it's kind of, it's powerful, or maybe somewhere else. And Jeff said just the other day, or maybe it was in Rami's actually, Rami quoted Jeff. Jeff says, quotes, price action trumps everything,
Yeah.
which is kind of a powerful statement, I think, for us to adopt.
Well, and it's really, we're trying to train to notice, see these price action changes, because if we can see those, we trade what we see, not what we feel. And when we see the right patterns, that's when we make the trade. And the price action pattern is the most important. And includes all of these things that are going to follow. It all helps, right? So first is the candles a 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And you've got that. Then we look at the RSI. Is it showing divergence with stock trend in opposite direction? Yes. Hull, is it going up or going down? Volume, how much volume? Yeah, is there lots of stuff, people involved or not? There we go. This is where the VIX would come in. You would also, and that may even come in. So you've got, oh, where did,
Okay. The VIX.
you've got, so yeah, VIX. Let's see. Yeah, low, and you might just put the 2 statements in there, right? VIX is low, look out below, VIX is high. We're licking our chops. I don't know, I forget what his quote is on that one.
And reverses.
No, when the VIX is low, look out below, and if the VIX is high, it's time to buy.
Yes. Thank you.
He
There we
said
go.
in
Good
one of
job,
them,
Cindy. Excellent.
he said in one of the trainings though, he says, it is said when the VIX is low, look out below. I say when the VIX is low and reverses, look out below,
Yes. Yes.
which I have not totally understood, but it was in, like, I wrote that down because he specifically said, yeah, oh yeah, here, I put a note on the VIX, the key to, Jeff says when the VIX is high and reverses, it's time to buy. Because it's an inverse relationship is what he says.
Yeah. So the market's going from being
But
really volatile to being more complacent, I think. but that's a good thing for us to get clarification on.
I'm just gonna put this in. And I'll put it in, and I'll highlight it in green.
Yeah,
Because, maybe he said it in the curriculum and then he doesn't say it anywhere else, or maybe he would say, oh, I've changed my mind on that. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't really. Okay. Yeah, I think this is in the, it's in that training on the VIX. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that he says that, but we can check.
Now for this next bit, I would like create separation. Cause this is Rami's step 4. Like I would do this as time to look for a trade, or, and then you've got switch. So
Yeah,
you've decided, what market, which watch list you're looking at. We've checked those other things. It's like, yeah, here's what we're looking at. So time to look for a trade. And so step 1 is option chain tab.
yeah,
Choose the ticker.
yeah. Should I just
Here we go.
start numbering? I can fix the formatting later. Okay.
So switch the tab, we choose the ticker.
Do you want me to read you what the VIX says?
Oh,
And you
yeah.
When the VIX is high, high VIX values suggest that market fear is peaking. For investors, this could be a signal to look for buying opportunities. The rationale is that during high fear, many assets might be undervalued as investors are selling off aggressively. When the VIX is low, conversely, a low VIX can indicate complacency in the market. This could suggest that the market is overvalued and a correction might be on the horizon. So the saying, look out below, implies that investors should be cautious as a market downturn might be coming.
Okay. Yeah, see.
Good. That's good stuff, Cindy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was very thorough.
I'll put C key to because sometimes you just have to go revisit it, hey, and it might be helpful to have where that is.
Yeah.
Good point. You might want to put new line includes C key 2. Down below, put the C SEE down below, so it's like a new thought. There you go. Yeah. Thanks. That's good.
We all like order.
I just need I need really clear for me.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you, Cindy.
Mhm.
I
Are
might
we going to the other call?
It's at 6. It's been moved an hour.
Oh, okay. Okay.
and we are hardcore today, Cindy. Okay, we're getting close.
Stuff done.
We're getting close here. If we get through this, we might be able to. Oh, but we had said we would only do this for 15 minutes.
And then go play or
True.
So now
I
we're
see.
at the point where we want to go to the option chain. So do we want to like physically go there now? And have a look, because then we choose the ticker, we choose our expiration date. Well, actually, before we, oh yes, because when we look at the charts, we would have already determined what kind of a strike price we're looking at. So when we go to the chart, to that option trader,
Oh, okay.
right? Because at this point, it's time to look for a trade in the option chain because we've determined all that stuff above, right? So what we haven't sort of included there is that based on all the information that we have on that from the candle, we want to look at what strike prices are we looking at based on all that we've seen above, because not how we feel about it. Right, what we've seen.
Okay.
What-
Determine,
What strike price, what credit spread zone, what's the right term, you guys? My brain is farting here.
record strike prices.
Determine a credit spread. No, this one we've seen above. What are we gonna set as our it'll give us a clue as to where we want to go look on the option trade, right? So we want to determine our you know,
Okay.
the sticker price that we want to check out. That's going to be at least a couple of things away from our low. If we're doing a bull put, we want to be 2 strike prices out of the money, at least. And then,
This is actually really great because it's showing me there is a gap in my understanding of how you get to all that first homework part to actually going over to
yeah,
the options.
so while we're
chain.
still on the chart, we want to look at the what sticker prices are where, what we haven't addressed in that at all is levels of support and levels of resistance
Mm,
based on what we've seen above. So the candles, fix all that, more so on the candles and the moving averages. What are layers of support and or resistance? Then we want to ask ourselves, what level of out of the money, like the price, do we want to try to see if we can get enough credit spread to make it worth our while? So yes, draw them, and then kind of go at which
Are you getting into
determine
sort of
which
are you getting into the process of, so isn't that coming down further
we
down?
want this information to then go to the options trading tab, because we're going to use that number to then go into our strategy builder and into the out of the money section and go here, and here's what we're looking at.
in other words, we're still in the chart.
It's kind of a smart guess about where we're going to get the right profitability. So we want to know that we're going to be safe on that. So we got to go at least 2 strike prices out, but we need to look at that on the chart to get the number.
An
That'll tell
educated
us,
guess.
right? Because then if we go to the chart options trader and we go in and it's like 5% probability, we go, okay, I'm not doing this trade today. There's not enough in it. It's not, right?
So would you say that a good way to word that is determine a starting place to look at for a credit spread to
Yeah,
take
yeah,
or for a credit spread.
to take a credit spread, yeah. Starting place to determine a starting place to look for a credit spread that will
Opportunity.
give us the probability and the credit amount that we want.
Sorry, say that again. What is, and still here in this step, what is the,
Yep, yep. Because we draw them in and then then we want to determine a starting place to look
yeah,
for the credit spread, for the strike prices to create the credit spread to get the profit we want and the probability of success we want. Is that too wordy? Sorry.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
just go to look for a credit spread, Patty, and then instead of going credit spread, then it's to look for a strike price, comma, credit spread, and so on. Is that what you're saying, Deb?
Yeah, so determine a starting place
yeah.
to look for the strike prices that will create the credit spread.
Ah, sorry.
Let's look at it.
Okay.
Credit spread with the right probability and credit available to fit
Well,
our
we,
system or process of trade, or like Jeff's process.
that might be a little bit,
Too much. Starting place. How about I
I won't
show
know.
you what I'm talking about? That might clarify and you can help with the words. Can I share?
It's
Yeah.
12:12, gang. Ladies, it's 12:12, just so you,
So we
just so
got
you know.
45 minutes. So I'm just gonna share. Oh, just a minute. I got it. Just a minute. Stop that for a minute. Where's my?
I would like to spend time on
Oh,
clicking.
did my thing go off? Might have. I might have to bring up my. Oh, just a minute, you guys. My workstation went down. I gotta pull it up.
What did you say, Bonnie?
I said I would love to be able to, it's 12:12 now, spend some time clicking, going and looking and, doing some of this evaluation and analysis.
We can leave this document work if you want for now. I'll print it out and maybe Deb, you could lead us through a click and I will make notes
That's
as you do it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing progress. Wow.
It is like, I feel like we've flushed out a lot of things.
Yeah.
That it's like, oh, this isn't, I want to get to the other stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
we gotta flesh this stuff out too, so we might as well do it in order, is how I'm thinking. I don't know how are you guys feeling?
It's a good document that you're doing, and Deb is very detailed, and it's like, wow, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you, Patty, I feel like, well, yeah, I'm missing steps, and that's I keep going over it and over it, and I'm just like, I'm not getting it. Like,
Yeah.
and I think, like Bonnie just said,
Insane.
maybe I need to get in there and start pushing buttons so I can get it up here. I've watched a lot of, like, all of the videos I've watched, because my working days were Monday and Thursdays. Those days I missed the videos, but the Tuesday and Wednesday calls, I've been on all of them. So I kind of get an understanding of like what to look for in the charts. And so anyway, It's just the whole platform. I don't know what I'm doing with that.
Yeah, and hopefully we're gonna all get more clarity tomorrow, I hope, with
Mhm.
Rami. But
Yes,
we
that's
get already though, even what Deb has walked Bonnie and I through is a ton of that technical stuff for at least placing a trade.
Mhm.
why can't I
That's
get
what
my
we're-
Zoom big again? Oh, because you guys are over there. There you go. You moved on me. Where did I
We're
go?
hiding,
I went to,
Okay, so I'm gonna share screen. Here we
hiding in
go.
plain sight.
Yep. Okay, so can you guys see my chart?
Yes.
So I'm currently in indices, as you can see across the bottom. So I've got the SPX up. So in terms of just quick kind of going through what's the trend, I'm gonna make this the daily bigger. And then I gotta shrink you guys, sorry. There we go. All right. Now this is like daily and it's over from the 22nd. So this is a couple of years. So we probably don't need that much. But if we go here, so you can see that on the daily, if we were to draw the trend line, right? So I'm just gonna, this is kind of what it's doing, right? Everyone see my blue line?
Yep.
So now if I stop that, okay. So from December, 2023, all the way until April, that's the 1st of April, 2024. And really, if I went there, yeah, it's still April 1st. Statement, yeah, okay. Right, then we've had this little bit, what was a little bit of a downturn, but then, and neutral, and then it's kind of gone up again to here, and now these last few days, this last week has been neutral. Right, so that's where we kind of get a feel for, that's what the market is, right? And then we would do that for QQQ. I'm just gonna take that off for right now. Oops. Where'd you go? Take that off. No. Okay, so try QQQ. So really this last bit, it's the same thing. It's going up, a little bit of a dip that started in March. Okay, went down, but then now it's going up again. So it's bearish, or sorry, bullish. Does that make sense? Everybody? Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna shrink that down. Oh, God, move you guys. Okay, so everybody's in Costco, right? So let's go to stocks. Let's see. Oh, I got internet is slow. Sorry, everyone. I've got the Q. Oh, no, partly why I have this one up. Can you guys see the Q com?
yeah,
Because that day that Jeff, like just last week, Jeff went through a whole bunch of stuff, right? And was saying, hey, he did it on the Thursday because the market was open Friday still. And so he's going to, here's things to, and you just walk through like how to look at them all. That's the thing. And there was a fellow, this was the one, I think, was it Bonnie I talked to you about? That guy. There was a fellow who posted in our alerts as well.
With the big,
Said,
huge,
hey,
long name.
Jeff talked today about all these things, and he had time signatures as to what time each of those happened.
Yeah.
And so I went back and kind of wrote those out as well. Like so we said at 7:10, he talked about the SPX. At 8:55, he talked about the rut, blah, blah, blah. And he wwent through all the way like 20, 30, 38 minutes. He just went through a whole bunch, and so it's a great video to watch. But one of them that he did, and he put in all, and these are the lines I'm talking about. So I'm gonna make this one bigger. All right. Gotta shrink you guys again. Okay, gonna make that bigger.
Do you want to do Costco? Because we're gonna go there anyway, or not?
Okay.
Whatever
Um,
you, whatever
we-
you're, I don't know where
yeah,
you're going.
Like, so it's looking at lines of support and resistance. And so if you go back over time, like you can see from here, if we drew a line and it went straight across, or like you'd see places where it comes down and touches. So are we gonna do Costco? Is that the one you want to do?
That's what was mentioned a few minutes ago.
Okay, so Costco. Now, well, we may push the buttons on this. We may not actually make the trade unless you really want to, because it's going crazy, right? But
It might not be a good one to practice on. Isn't that what's
Well, 'cause
messing
the-
everybody up?
It's the
yeah,
earnings
this is
call
messing
coming up.
everybody
Is
up.
there another one that was highlighted this morning? I did not go into the little group. If what
There
Rami?
wasn't much.
Right.
People,
I went through some of the markets and I was looking at ISRG.
sorry, what was it?
ISRG,
What's that? Oh, surgical.
I know Rami did an Amazon bear call today and a Tesla. Oh no, that was 9 days ago, the Tesla one.
Yeah, there wasn't new stuff today, and that's why I asked the IBKR group. And Kelly said she missed everything, and Larissa was waiting on a rut to maybe kind of turn out. So
Rami posted an Amazon bear call today.
well, Cindy, do you want to have a look at this? Because you said you were looking at it. So is your chart looking similar to mine?
yes.
Daily,
See,
4
there's a
hour,
one-
1 hour.
There's a 1, 2, 3, and if I look down at the RSI, it's going up. But that I was looking at the 4 hour because it's hit the mean.
Right,
it's
and the
going
mean,
back up.
and the mean has acted as a resistance once, sort of twice, 3 times, kind of 4 times. Yeah.
So that's why I was looking at that one. The only thing I didn't know was, I don't know when the earnings call was, so I couldn't check it. Like, I didn't know how to get that at the time, so.
Yeah. And that's today, isn't it? It was today. The one on the
Costco?
whatever Costco, was it
Or this one?
Costco? Was that
Costco
the
is
earnings?
today, apparently.
Yeah.
But I don't know when the earnings call is on this one, ISRG.
Right. The only thing, I'm just gonna zoom in.
I'll go look at Alpha, whatever.
The only
Seeking
thing about this is that the 4 hour is showing a downturn already. And the 1 hour. Oh, I gotta move you guys. You're covering it. The 1 hour is showing like it's kind of gone down. No, it did just bounce off the mean. It did just bounce off the mean, didn't it? So you could that might be not bad. So do we want to check out? So if we look at placing a bull put on this, so I'm over on the daily, right? So we want to kind of look at what were the levels of resistance. So right now, the one that's the last lowest low that bounced off the mean was this one, and that's like 379.25. Can you see that on the column on the right?
Yes.
Where I'm getting the
Yeah.
379. So and that is, and right now it's the low, the active low is 395. So that's like fair ways out. So what we could do is say like either look 379, say 378, and or if we if somehow we could get one there and there's enough in it for being safe for it sort of coming back, would be 366. So just gotta write. I need a pen. Where did my pen go?
So. Dang
So
it.
these
I
are the
missed-
numbers that we need to mark them on the chart so we know that that's what it is, and write it down, because then after you place the trade, you can't sort of, well, this you can go back and get, but when we did the sort of blabbing. So I'm just gonna write from my own head here.
So can somebody just summarize? I missed.
370.
You
so
determined those numbers.
78. Pardon, say that again, Patty?
Can you just summarize your process right there? You're looking at
Okay, so
where
what I'm looking at right
there's-
now is past levels of support and levels of resistance. So I'm kind of watching the candle. I'm just going to give
Yeah.
us a little bit more data, right? And I'll spread that out. And this is the daily, right? So I'm kind of going, and Cindy mentioned about the mean. So here, this yellow line is the
Yeah.
mean, right?
Yeah.
So if I
Yeah.
look at that, it's like it hit here and then it hit here and it went back up. Now it went down below a little bit. Then it went up, and it just seems to be kind of following that mean. Now here it went below for like a whole month, like April, all the way through April. And the mean, it fell below the mean, and now instead of being a level of support, it became a level of resistance. So it kept banging against that, not being able to go over until May 3rd. And then it busted through, and then now it's been acting as resistance or support. And the first standard deviation, our number 2, right, is acting as resistance because it goes up there and it's coming down. So it's just going between these two lines, right? So on this, we see, if I zoom in on that now, okay,
Did you-
there is a 1, 2, 3. It's kind of coming off the mean. But the thing about that is that what's acting as resistance is this one. But the trend is, for the past month and a half, is bullish, right? It is trending up. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes.
It's all right when I flip that. All right. Right. So now in terms of going, if we look at, here's our low, our new low, right? And so the little dash line that goes across to the right is 396.49. Right? So that's the low. So we want to be at least 2 strike prices below that to place a bull put, because we want to give ourselves some room, right? But if we drawn in lines of support and resistance from the past, right? Like before we go to think, we might look at, okay, right there. So that's 377. So if I draw a line in 377, can you see, right, this red one
Mm-hmm.
on the left came to that, then it went up, then it came to the 377, went back up. Now it went a little bit below it, but then went back up. Then it hit it again there and went back up. And now since then, it's been above that level. So if somehow we could get a spread that's even lower, that's down there, we feel pretty safe, because that gives us 2 levels of resistance before it kind of falls apart, right? Which is,
Yeah.
tends not to do. The more levels of resistance that we can find a spread that gives us the characteristics we want, the better off we are. Does that make sense? So for what Cindy's identified there, we know our current active low is 395. So we've got to for sure get below that. So we're kind of trying to look, okay, the mean, the last time it bounced off, the mean was down here. And so that's that 378 that we identified. And then if we went to the next level of resistance, it's kind of this first standard deviation back there. And that was 363. Right? So we've got those numbers in our head, and we're going to now go to the option trading. We're going to type in that same, so what was that? What's the ticker name, Cindy? ISRG?
ISRG, yes.
So is that right? Okay. Now it's the 31st, so that's 0. So we got to go out 7 days. So we're entering, so this is data we want to write down. We're entering the trade today, which is May 30th. We're looking for an exit of June 7th. Right? So that
I
gives
don't
us a
see an
7.
earnings call until July. You know, I did a search.
Oh,
July
excellent. So then that's
18th.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. We know we've got our ticker name in, so we know we're looking at the right data. Then we want to turn our strategy builder on. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to make that smaller so we can see. And then we want to look for those numbers. So we want to look, I got Costco in there. I need a different one. I need ISL.
ISRG.
Oh, that's Tesla. That's not it. Sorry.
ISRG,
ISRG.
yes.
There we go. Those are numbers we want. Okay, strategy builders on. So now we're looking at a bull put. So that's on the right hand side. The numbers need to be in the black. We're not looking at any to do credit spreads. We're never looking at numbers in the black. And we want to stay out of them.
So just a quick for recording purposes, we probably should have stopped the recording a couple minutes ago before you went into ISRG and started to evaluate ISRG so that it's a shorter recording. What do you think?
Okay. So
No? Okay, we can keep going.
Or if we treat this day as hashing it out
Okay.
and not a
and we know it's 5:30 and we started at pretty close to, oh, sorry, 5:30 for me. So we've been on about an hour and I'm not exactly sure when you recorded.
It will be a monster.
Track from now. So it's 32. I have 32 minutes after the hour. So then we'll know in the video if we go once we finish this, like well, we got to finish this in the next 30 minutes. And hopefully we'll finish this part and you can just stop the recording. And then we'll know the last 15 minutes or 10 minutes is the trade. Does that make sense?
It'll be a monster file. That's all it is.
Oh.
We're just doing
And-
this trade.
Yeah, but we'll know to go to the last 10 minutes of it
Okay.
to get this trade. Because we can always stop this recording. And then if you want to, if we finish this in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then you could start another one if we, depending on if we try to do another trade. Okay, so so can I keep going for now?
So you're looking at the strike price of 397.5.
Well, I'm gonna go to, yeah, we want to go.
That's be two strike
No,
prices
that's
out.
well, okay. Here's where the current price is. The first thing we looked at was 395, but we want to, that's 260. So that's giving us, we do that, that would give us 15 to 60 is what, you guys?
45.
45.
Mm-hmm.
So it fits in. It fits in because this is a $2.50 trade, and we want 40 cents credit. The only thing is it's a bit close in terms of being where the going into the money, right? Whereas we said we kind of wanted to try to look, can we get something at 378-ish? So we'll just quickly have a peek there. And if it looks like we can't, we'll go back to that other one just to place the trade. Oh, see, and these are too far. It's only giving us 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. Okay, why is that one? 25 to 70. That's like 50 cents. Okay, just for fun, I'm gonna try this one. So 372.5. So if you look where I've got my cursor right now, under bid, and it's red. So I push there and then I go up one row and over to do my ask. And the two numbers I need to remember, because you can't find these again once you place your trade, is the 25 cents and the 70 cents. So I'm writing down that I did 372.5 and 370, and the 372.5 was at 25 cents. The 370 was at 70 cents. So that's giving me 45 cents of credit, which is going to become my limit. Okay, so everyone okay so far? So I'm going to open up my strategy builder because we want to see how much probability of that happening. Okay, 0 probability, so we're not doing this trade. So although it looked good on that stuff, right? So we're just going to go over and cancel the legs. Let's go back and we'll look at the first one that Cindy mentioned there. So 395. Sorry, I'll get so that we can see where it changes. There it is. Okay. So now, so we got 250 to 205. And we're 1, 2, 3. This is 4 strike prices out. So this is 395. 392.5. Okay, so clicking bid, going up to do the ask. So I got 250 and 205. So that's again a 45 cent difference. So we go to strategy builder to get the probability. 73%. So that's all right.
Do you see that, Cindy?
So that's 73%. Right now, I've only got one contract for $45 profit. If it goes all the way to expiration, 9, 10, so and 13 cents. So, and it's only using 296 capital. So what I would do on that is go in here and go to quantity, try 3. That's 882. So if I'm trying to do something that's around $1,000, using $1,000 in my capital, that's not too bad. So I might see, can I do 4? Will 4 fit? 1,176. So that's kind of a good range given my budget. Say, for the limit price, this is where I've got to put in 45 cents. Sorry, 45, which we got from taking the two the bid and the ask price and getting the difference between them. Right, that what we wrote down before. So does that make sense?
That's what I had a problem with. I didn't know how to calculate that. So the limit is
you take
difference.
your bid price and ask price that you clicked in, and then you get the difference between them, and that's your credit spread amount. And that's the number that you put in here. And so you can see that these numbers these are just current market, what they're being bought and sold for at the moment, what the bids and asks are going for. It's not linked directly to what you put in. You can't. So the only way to get that data, you have to have written it down right now. And unless Rami, in talking with them, figured out a place, we can go to find that better.
Well, is that what this is? I don't know if you can see that is
Oh, sorry, I'm not looking at you guys.
That's-
Sorry, show me again.
can you
minute.
see that?
Oh,
That's-
just a minute. I gotta put on my magnifying glasses.
That's that document in the curriculum.
Okay, no, this is, well, yes, sorry, yes. What we're looking for in our trade is we want at least that amount of credit. So we're doing a 250 credit spread, right? Because your numbers or the numbers I have on here are 395 and 392.5, which is a difference of $2.50. So on a $2.50 on that sheet, Cindy, it says
Yes.
the credit spread he's looking for is on a stock that it's
It's
40
40
cents. Right.
Okay.
So when we did it, we had 250 on the bid, 205 on the ask, which is 45 cents spread. So that fits. It's greater than 40 cents. Make sense? So then we take that 45 cents and we put that in to our order entry saying, why did that all change? Stuff that was in there. Oh, because I'm playing.
Oh, maybe
Oh,
your
so it's
price.
up here, that's why. Okay, so then in this strategy builder, that's where we put our 45 cent credit. Right? Whereas if you just put 40 cents in, that's not actually what your trade was worth. You've already lowered it by 5 cents.
Okay.
So he's saying when you look
The
for a
difference in-
trade, I
the
want
difference
you
in
to get,
bid-
try to make it worth having your capital be locked up in this trade. You want to get 40 cents for it. So go to your, that's why we go to the options trader. We look for the things and we found one that's a 73% probability and it's a 45 cent spread. Sometimes you find them and they're $1 something. Like Jeff finds lots of them and he gets like $1.05, right? So it's way more than his 40 cents, or even on the 60, is it 65 cents that he wants on a $5 spread?
$5 spread is 65.
All right, so notice how much lots of his are like more than that. Like sometimes there's 70 or 80 cents. So he's taking that 80 cents and he's plugging it into here. Now his platform is totally different. So right, but that's the number. That's how he got that number. Can you see that where I'm circling that, where I've got my cursor in my strategy builder?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I do that, right? And then what I do is go over to the right-hand side here and I push this submit.
Is it
So I'm
is
making
it
this
is
trade
it day?
today, everybody.
Do you
We'll
click
see how it goes.
day? Deb, do you
Pardon?
click day? Is it what's the drop down beside 45 credit and then day? Is it
Yeah, it'll give options
oh,
to
it's
the
too early to
GTC,
do
but I'm not setting
GTC.
that yet.
Yeah, no, that's
I
that's
want this to be taken first. So before I can set it, I have to make the trade. So that means I have to go over to submit order.
Yeah.
I push submit order. This thing comes up and it gives me a chance to relook at it. So it goes here, right? Now I don't know why. And see, this is changing. That was 75 and it was something else when we first looked at it. Now that changed. Why is that?
Because I think, Deb, I think the market is constantly changing, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is.
So that's
'Cause we're
probably
still
why.
live.
But the
But
limit
that should
price
be, this
says
is my
45.
thing though. And so I don't know why that's, to be honest, like we gotta find out why that's different than, because I answered.
The limit price still says 45 cents, though.
Says what?
It still
it's
says 45 cents.
45 cents, which is what I want because I have to make this trade first. I have to
Yeah.
do it, then it gets picked up, then I get to set the GTC. So
Yeah.
right now I gotta transmit. And what time are we at in the market?
12:43.
Okay, so we'll just have to
3
see.
minutes.
So now if this was to fill, then I can show you over here because I've got another working one. Okay, so see over here, we just placed that one and it's got 3 positions.
Yes.
Can you guys see my cursor? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So and to be honest, this is where we spent all that time when Rami was on, trying to ask him, like, how do we read all this? Like, because it's not telling us the value of our trade at the moment. So see right now, my Costco one appears to be quite profitable, like that it's still at profit, like today, but then it's got unrealized as $34. So I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, but from here, if this was to go order filled, I would right click on this. And then see how that white box, can you see the white box come up?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so at the top of it, it says close,
Oh, okay.
right? So then I would click close and that makes my order entry box red. Can you see that? Did it? Yeah.
Yes.
So this is then where I go in and go, okay, I had sold it for 45 cents. I need to cut that in half. Like Jeff says, we're going to take 50%. So I would take
Oh.
50% of 45, so say 22. I would enter that in there and then go to the day and click the GTC and then submit.
It says minus, so is it
Yeah,
minus 52
yeah.
or is it,
Yeah.
okay,
Now, and this is my Costco one. It's not mine because I can do this one. See what happens. I do this one. And see that because oh, there we go. Right. So if I was contract with your holding position, da 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 da. Like I'm not going to do it for right now because it hasn't filled. Now my yeah. So does that help with how you determine the limit price, like when you're making your trade, what you put in there in your strategy builder?
I understand it a little bit more, but
Are you guys seeing anything else to trade, or do you want to try this one, Cindy, in your own thing, on your own one, knowing I don't know if this is actually going to be a good trade or not. Like
But it's
I was
paper.
wondering,
it's
can you
paper
click
money,
on-
so it's it
Yeah.
gives you an opportunity to click buttons. And
Yes. I was just wondering if you could click on see in the middle panel there, it says orders. What's under there, Deb?
these will be
Can
all
you
the ones that I have on the go. So put that up. So right now, oh, my Costco one, now it says one. So it looks like one of them sold.
No,
Maybe
it's the
one is
ISRP
working.
one.
So one is working, something. Maybe someone
So it's just got the other two and then it'll be filled. It'll shows you, this is the ISRG one.
yeah.
So that's kind of tells you where a little bit more about your order.
Okay, so say that again. So it's saying I bought limit type.
That's the one that you just put.
Yeah.
That you did, and it's telling you the quantity and so you just have to wait for the other two and then you'll get filled, right?
So it says filled 3,
I think there's
working
one of the 3.
1. So why is only one working? If 3 filled. I wonder if when I was in that box, if when I clicked that, if it did something.
I think one sold and it's got to wait for the other two before it gives you the go ahead and it fills you completely.
Okay.
Am I not understanding that correctly?
I don't know. This is where I haven't, and when I tried to talk with Rami, and he actually spent quite a bit of time with me on the group call, and we didn't get through it, did we, girls? And he said he was going to talk to IBKR about it. So because then I can look at trades this way as well, and so there's that one. And if I open it up, oh, that's the Costco. Okay, so see, it says all of those are bought, but 1, 2, 3, but none of them
Filled.
have been sold. Whereas my Costco on the 31st which is that one. So I sold it and bought 2 and sold 2. So it's a completed trade. Tesla, same as I bought and I sold, so that's completed. So those ones at the bottom are completed. This Costco one for June 7th. That's the one I got in today. So I bought 3 and 2 of them have sold. 1.
Oh, I see.
No, wait a minute, did not. 1. So no, just bought 3. None have sold.
I'm thinking, Deb, is it possible to go back to the chart and see where the 3, like you took that bid as 395, so we can kind of get an idea. Okay, where's your 395 on there? 395.
It's right close to that. It's right at the bottom of that.
So
That
does that mean
candle.
it has to come down to that before you get filled, or? And then the other one is
Ideally, I want it
390.
going up because we put a bull put in. Ideally,
Yeah.
we want it to go up. We don't up that way and then it feels, I don't want it to come down.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, like if had really set in stone my resistance and support lines, right? Because we did have the 3 numbers we wrote down were 395, 378, and 363. And as soon as we went out here and tried to get them at those levels, we had, remember, the probability was okay, we're not doing that trade. Now to show, like, for us to get that trade, we had to go really close to the current
Yeah,
lowest
price.
low, right? Which is
What was
not
that second one, Deb? The second one, see the go down a bit, where it's got the next resistance level down is what? Right there,
that one, the mean.
379.15.
Yeah. And so we'd sort of said 378 was,
Oh, is that okay?
yeah. Or that's in my notes. Like it's about right because then it hits it here, it hits it there, and then historically comes back over there and kind of hits where was 37 right
Yeah,
there,
right
hits
there,
at that
right
level
there.
again there. So there was,
So that,
it was showing that was a line that would, right? And if we had those clearly in, is that these? I'm not exactly sure which one. I gotta play with that more. Long position. That long position.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yeah, I'm not sure how to use that.
Cindy, were you asking
Oh.
what is it that happens that makes it fill? Like we're waiting right now for that order to fill before we can set the GTC. Were you thinking, oh, is it the candles hitting it that makes it fill?
yeah, I need a better understanding of how it works. Like what makes
Yeah.
it, oh, like.
Right. And so is this correct? This is my understanding. It's just simply that when someone, like we are selling, right? We've done that bid and ask. So we're selling options contracts. So I think what makes it fill is when someone else buys them. Is that correct? Deb?
That's my understanding.
Yes.
But again,
And-
I don't know how to monitor what's the probability now that I've placed the trade that that's going to happen. So when I first placed it that it was 73%, but I can't find this, the way they do the P&L graph. I haven't been able to sort it on here. Remember Pauline asked about it too and was kind of like, how do we know where our percentage is at now? And that's where all
But even for us to get clarity, because the other day on the middle of the call, I was suddenly like, I don't understand. How does this get triggered? I thought I had clarity on that. And someone else asked it. And I think it is just somebody else is buying what we're selling. That's what triggers it. And then when we set the GTC, the thing that triggers the GTC is when someone sells us what we're trying to buy back, right?
yes, because then we're trying to buy back at a lower price, like than what we bought it, what we sold the first one at, so that we get all the profit.
And then that's what closes the whole trade.
Closes the trade out, yeah. And see,
So-
but again, like I go to new window and we've got 5 minutes, so like, but new window and I do my trade history, right? And so you can see all these ones. So 4 different trades.
We don't see it, Deb.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
sorry.
Stop trading.
Thank
Stop
you.
sharing. Go back to sharing. So that's in that new window. And I've did trades and then summary, right? So with today's one, right? So I bought 3, but I didn't really buy, or like I'm trying to sell 3, right? And at this point, and it seems like these terms are backwards in IBKR. Is that what you guys are getting?
Yeah, why is
Yeah,
that?
so the 3 are out
I don't
there,
know.
for someone to pick up.
Yeah, it's because of how IBKR is set up. So then on, so I'm waiting for those. I'm still waiting to be able to set my GTC and then hopefully buy those back at the cheaper price. I know that I put my initial thing is at 45 cents. That's what my initial spread was at, because they haven't triggered, no one's filled them. I haven't been able to set the GTC. Whereas you look at this one that I did, like probably 5 days ago or so, right? So I did 4, they all triggered, and then I triggered and I had bought them at 39 cents. That wasn't the spread we were supposed to use, but I wanted to practice clicking the buttons and figuring out where the things go. So I was willing to take less credit. But I made the probability was a bit higher, right? Then sold them, and it was $156 for a total of $80, right? And so I went from when I set my GTC, it was at 20 cents, because I went, this is basically 40 cents, 39, right? So I did half of that for 20, and that someone bought those back at that price. So I got to make that profit.
Deb, did it take you a long time to fill on that one? Do you remember?
It was the same day that I made the trade. It's not like I had to wait overnight, I think. And I've been generally trading between 2 hours before the market closes and market close. And so this actually, if I go here, Tesla, I should be able to get a time on that. I think. Yeah, okay. So Tesla, where's the 4? So right there. 6. So it filled right after the market closed. Like, you have that 15 minutes. It's not saying when I placed it. Why is it not saying all of that cleared out? So I don't know. Somewhere I thought I'd found that. It might be in my, I'm just gonna stop share, go back into my You guys seeing that? So options trader.
Mhm.
No, it's not. It's not showing it there. If I go down there. No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to. So, all right.
What's the summary, Deb?
And
Does that
there.
give you a summary of
It's
your
the
trades or?
same. It's the same as the
Oh,
one we just looked at, but
okay.
do you see that new screen that popped up when I clicked on that? Or did it not?
Yep.
Okay, I just said for we'll put, so say order complete said. So let me go back to my option trader. Where are we? Is that it?
Partially filled, I
Yeah.
heard.
Pardon?
I heard something was partially filled, wasn't it?
Yeah, order filled. So let's have a look at my go. Okay, so gonna move you guys. Oh, just a minute. All right. There, okay, see over there. See where to go. Oh, did I do 4?
I thought it was 3.
Okay, so I'm gonna right click that. Go to close. And then I wanna reset this to, I wanna go point. So it was 45. So I'll do 22. Right, and then I want to set my GTC. I'm gonna submit. So then it's saying I'm in a bull put, which is correct. I've now changed my limit price to 22 cents, which is right. There's that. Some commission fees. Transmit. Protect your orders. Use on this order. Yeah. So the auto cancel. Okay. All right. Okay, so then that's now working.
It's 1:02, so that it's just a couple minutes after the close, but that should probably still go, huh?
Yeah, hopefully. So let's look at real quick. I'm gonna go. Okay, so four sold. Oh,
No, that's
see, to me, that
no,
looks like the whole thing is done.
two sold.
2 sold. You're looking at Tesla, Deb,
Oh,
at the
sorry.
bottom.
Oh, 2 of the 4. Okay, so 2
Yeah.
sold. So then waiting on the other 2.
And when you first came on that screen, there was just one sold. So even in a couple of seconds, 2 sold.
Yeah. So maybe by the 6:15, maybe. Or if not, then because of that thing I clicked, they may cancel if it doesn't actually. Oh, there, sold 4.
Oh,
Yep. It's
Yep.
ISR, just, yeah, my thing just popped up, order complete.
yeah, it's on the
We'll put
screen
at
now, 4 and
22.
4. Yep.
If it was only that easy.
Piece of cake.
But anyway, so I don't know, did that help Cindy with figuring out that limit thing? Because I knew when you'd put that in there in the IBKR messenger group, and then Shannon responded back and gave you the sheet. That's not the price that you're gonna write in as your limit. It
And
just
that's where
gives
I
you
was
that
confused.
ideally you want at least that amount of credit. And if you can get more, and especially at probabilities that are higher. That's what Jeff wants us to do.
So
'Cause
how do
he
you know
doesn't go into
exactly?
trades if he's not making, like, most of his are 70 or 80 cents or more
What was your
on
question,
the
Cindy?
$5.
So how do you know whether 45, 46, 48? Like, how do you know what to put there?
Okay, we'll try again. Let's do this.
So,
Okay,
sorry,
so
this is,
see in my strategy builder, when I go to make a trade, I go over here, see the bid is yellow. Can you see it? My cursor, the bid,
oh, okay,
and then
yes,
see ask. See how there's two columns side by side?
yes.
Okay, see the price here at 395 is 250.
Oh,
Right? Can you see that price says 250? So if I was
yes,
to push bid, got my strategy builder on, so I push bid and it shoots it into my strategy builder. Now I go to do ask. I go over one and up one
one,
so that I'm going from 395 to 392.5, which is $2.50. But this is saying 230. So 270 is my bid. 230 is my ask. 270 minus 230, like the difference between those two is 40 cents. So that's what, when I go
Ah.
back to my strategy builder,
okay,
that's what I'm gonna put in my credit was 40 cents. Now it just
okay,
worked out that this one was 40 cents. But when we did it 10 minutes ago, it was 45 cents.
okay. I
And so,
understand now.
okay.
I missed that before.
Okay.
I've
And
got
that's
it.
where a lot of Jeff's are like 70 to 80 cents. So so I would put in 70 cents. And then that's why when I do my GTC, this last one, that's why I came up with 22 cents, was because my original difference was 45.
And then you,
50% of that is
yeah,
22 or 23. So you pick which one, right?
I understand now. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
So I
I
cleared
got
that
it.
out. All right. So progress
For your
made. And see,
patience.
that's where some people, no, they were on a different, we're looking at stuff over here to try and get the difference. And that's not where we look. That's other stuff. Yeah.
Okay. I got it.
Okay, so that worked so Cindy, in terms of a stock, like pat yourself on the back, you identified a stock
Yes.
that you wanted to do a bull put on. And you're like, I don't know if it's gonna work. We did it and it was, on paper trading, at least it was successful. Right? So we traded on what you saw and we got a result. And it happened to be a positive one today, which is great. So it should reinforce that you're reading the chart. You read the chart and it was appropriate to make it trade.
I understand that part of it, Deb, but it's the whole platform, how to place a trade. And I went through it. I saw what you did. So now I think I need to practice, like go through my charts again and see if I can find something tomorrow, or tomorrow's on my busy day. I've got my ladies group and
But you
anyway.
saw where you can clear the legs, where like,
Yes,
right? So you can practice doing the bid thing and kind of go, okay, if this is a $2 spread, what 250 spread, and like check the numbers and go, what would I put in for my credit? Right? And then pull up the profile and then it goes, oh, this is like a 50% probability that's going to be successful. Oh, okay, that's not one. Click that, cancel that out.
yeah,
And then you
yeah.
can play around and go, oh, well, look, what happens if I go way up here and way down here, right? But just stick to bull puts for clicking the buttons for right now, because no, when you go to do bear call, what I find, so if, right? So if is my picture, like, is this going from your left to right?
No,
From
yeah,
right to
Mm, Okay, because, so for a for bullish, we want the market going up. And we're starting
Yes.
at our current date and moving forward, we want it to go up, right? So when you place your bid and your ask, you go from the one number up to the other number, right? So I went from 395. The number itself is actually lower, like 292.5. But on that
392.
chart, so when I go, I'm doing a bull put, I go from a high number to a low number. But the
But it's up higher. You're taking the
But-
line item up.
button, right? When you do a bear call, it's opposite. You go, your bid is a low number and goes to a higher number, but then it's when you push the bid, it's on the one and you go down a row to click the ask. So when you look, you kind of go, oh, that's the way I do want the line. I want it to drop. And so it is going from left to right, dropping when you draw from the bid box to the ask box. On the bull put, when I go from the bid box to my ask box, that's almost a swear word.
I
Then
know.
it goes up,
Every
right?
time they say it online, I'm like, what? But it's ask.
Right, so bid to ask, right? So it goes, right? And then
Yeah.
making sure that, and double checking what's the spread. Cause Jeff, a lot of his were $5 ones. And the first few times I got on a thing and I was trying to find stuff and it wasn't working out. And then when I really looked closely at the things, it was only a $1 spread. I'm like, well, okay, like I didn't even notice that. And Rami, again, you got to be careful with the tradings when you're watching. He actually does some that are two, like he went, the stock itself shows a $2.50 spread, but he actually did a bid at say 295, but say on this one 395, and instead of just going up one row, he went up two rows to make it a $5 spread. Because
Oh,
was
I didn't
looking
know you
at
could
how
do
did he
that.
do that, and I went
Yeah,
back
but
when
we
I
shouldn't,
watched this,
right?
he actually went and it made it a $5 spread, even though the stock increments, like each of the things was only 250.
I didn't know you could do that.
We're kind of trained not to at this point in our growth and development,
Yeah,
right?
now, because it's a $5 spread, I think it's probably okay.
Maybe, yeah.
But he says, don't ever do $10 spreads, which would be on a $5, that would mean jumping. But I went to Rami, I went, oh, because when I do it on the one, it doesn't make the thing. But then when he did it on the double, it did. And it was like, it's food for thought to play with at some point, right? But it's just kind of,
I have a question, Deb. What is your profit coming out of that?
I don't know. I'm not
Does it
100%
show?
sure. Like,
isn't our call starting?
Yeah.
oh yeah, it started 13 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
like-
jump out.
Okay,
ladies.
yeah, go for it. When I
Okay,
go, oh, that's gonna, see, like,
Thanks,
it
Patty.
doesn't,
Thanks, Patty. Standing ovulation, Patty.
so I had 4 contracts, which is 100, right? So had it gone to expiration, 39 would be 390. Is that right? Or 39,
I
$39.
thought it would have.
And I got, but I did a GTC at 20, so it would be $20. Maybe, or it might be 200, I'm not sure. Less, because we spent 1,000 and something, right? So 390. No, half that would be 200, less commissions. Now on this one, it doesn't say the commissions. Can you see this one? Can you see the new screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so over here, this is the commissions on it.
Oh,
So
okay.
I sold it. I get the difference between 45 and 22 is 23 cents.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get 23 cents. Less. I've got which one? That one. So 10, $1, $3. So looks like that's maybe the total. $3, and so minus $4.09 from whatever I get. And when I go all the way across, it doesn't give a total. And that's where we asked Rami, like I asked Rami, like, how do you know? Right? If I go summary, can you see the summary?
Yeah,
Okay, it doesn't give, like I can't, there's no more data there. Right, so
Okay.
it doesn't give me amounts. Now, if I go
And
to
what's
new
under it?
window and
what's
do
under
trade,
activity? Sorry,
oh, sorry,
I was wondering what was under activity. Does that
it's
show you?
it's just this,
Oh,
it's, right? That was the order, right? So if I go to new window, trade history, and I'm gonna have to, you guys can't see that, right? So I'll go and reshare. Share, okay, so then I go summary in there. So here's that last trade there, and I go across. So it's saying originally it would have been 180 for 88, or I sold it. So if when I sold all four, it was for 180, and then I bought stuff back at 88. So I made $92,
oh, there it is.
that much
80.
commission, and 87.91. Now, look at this, and yet in a couple of days, I'll go back to look at that. And some reason, some of these numbers have changed, and I don't understand why. And I don't know how to, like, that's where I was asking Rami, like, how do I know, like, how do I know that's in my bank? And he was going to talk to IBKR about it because it's way too smart. If this stayed, then I could transform it into my own worksheet and keep a running tally, right? But after
Yeah.
7 days, this goes away and I don't have this data. See, this is,
Oh.
if you look over here, it's for the last 7 days. So
Oh,
so I've been taking
can you
some
change that?
screenshots to go, I took this one yesterday, I took this one today, and look at the difference. Like, why did one go from green to red?
You can change that in 7 days, right?
No, not in here. You can only go less days. To get more days, you have to go out of this app and into the actual IBKR thing. You have to go into your mosaic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a real pain. And
Then-
then trying to pull it out of this stuff is like crazy. Like
Okay.
I printed off like 13 pages of stuff.
Yeah, I was on that call whenever you were talking to
And
Rami.
so I went through and kind of went, okay, which ones did I do in March? Which ones did I do in April? And which ones did I do in May? And I gave them a color. And what I haven't completed is going through and taking all those numbers and then adding them up myself to go, what did I do in February, March, April, May? To kind of come up with at least a monthly thing. Yeah.
He was gonna go on
And I
and
don't
try
even
to,
know for sure if that's the part of the chart I should be looking at. Because there's 13 pages of it. And Pauline got on and was sort of saying, same thing, we can't find it, Jeff. You need to help us find, or Rami, we can't find it.
and Rami said he was gonna go on and see if he could somehow, with his knowledge, to compress and reposition some of those reports that would be
Yeah.
better serving us with what we need, right? But
Yeah,
that's yet to be
I
seen.
think he was gonna talk to IBKR, was he not, as well,
Yeah.
about that?
yeah. So you guys, I want to jump and see if Jeff's on or Rami's on.
Yeah,
And
me
if they're
too.
talking about that Costco thing.
And I can't leave unless everybody else leaves, because, yeah.
Okay, thank
Oh.
you.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
great. And
ladies, we'll see you on the other side.
next time Cindy, we can get you clicking if that's where, or
Yeah,
I will, or
get you
somebody.
doing it.
Yeah, get hands on, because I did a Costco and that's all I've done, and I had no idea how to check it, and I knew the earnings was coming, but I was lost, so I
Yeah.
also need to
See,
keep
and like
clicking.
my one, according to my thing, my one sold. And we did ours about 15 minutes apart or whatever, right? Like, and paper trading for you.
Thanks, Deb. That was amazing again and
Thanks.
again and
All right,
again.
no
I'm
problem,
glad you
ladies.
came,
See you.
Cindy. Great to see you. We'll see you on the other.
Yeah,
Me
good to
too.
see you again.
I got some
Yeah.
answers.
All
Love you
right.
guys. Cheers.